Peace, y'all. It's your man Dave with my brother Quest, the man bringing you all things marriage, paying you huge dividends on your investment and time with us. We're talking about love, sex, having children, money, spirituality, life, communication, and anything else to help you thrive and win in your relationships. And guess what? This is grown folks' business. So get ready to make grown-up decisions. You know why? Because marriage ain't for suckers. That's the name of the program. Marriage ain't for suckers. All right, let's get into it. Hey, yo, Quest, it's time to give the people something, man. What we talking about today?
What up, y'all? It's your boy Quest, and welcome to another edition of the Marriage Ain't for Suckers podcast. I'm joined by my brother from another mother. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing this for 40. You know what I'm saying? Acres and a mule. Ladies and gentlemen, my co-host slash host, my man, my mellow, my man, L. David Harris.
Let me at him. Get on the mic.
And MC.
Yo, what up, Quest?
Yeah, man, we are back.
All the way back.
All the way back.
Wow,
you know what I'm
saying? Man. I'm going to just say class is in session. I don't have a bell today, so hit me with them air horns, man.
It's all good.
Yeah.
You know
we in here, man.
Class is in session, man. Big shouts out to everybody. We've been getting some lovely feedback. Some people have been listening to the podcast that I did not know. The podcast, and they're like, yo, you and L David are putting it down like 4 flats. And yeah, man, I'm so thankful. I'm honored and I'm privileged that you would take time out to listen to me and Dave, you know what I'm saying, like really banter about this thing that we love. You know what I'm saying? And really and truly, I do it a lot of the times too, so it can keep me in my lane. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Accountable,
man.
Oh, bruh, it's a lot of distractions out here.
Attention!
Oh, man.
It's a lot of distractions out here. But because I do this and I realize that as we do this, the responsibility that's on my life, yeah, the distractions, yeah, so I love maths. If you feel me, I love it. I love what we do. And I'm hoping that y'all are being blessed by it as well. Just got back from Antigua. It's funny, Dave, I was in the islands, you was in the States. You know what I'm saying? When I live in the States, you live in the island. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We traded places for a couple of days. And yeah, man, Antigua owes me nothing. It was beautiful while we there. Shouts out to everybody who came with me on the Greenhouse Marriage Retreat. This year was one that was a special one. And so, you know, D wasn't there last week because he's one of the coaches for UOU. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Eric Thomas and Associates. And it's, yeah, he ain't gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it for him. My man is over there killing the game.
Appreciate it, man.
Killing the game. And so, man, I am so overjoyed for you and what we got planned coming up. This year is going to be unlike no other. And y'all are going to get to not only see maths move to a different plateau. You know what I'm saying? Every round goes higher and higher, but you're going to get to see the greenhouse, the stuff that we're doing with, you know what I'm saying? Honor your vow, you know, keep your vow. Like for real, all that stuff that we're doing this year. Y'all just hold on to your seat, man. Hold on to your seat.
I'm legit. So, yeah, I'm legit excited about it, man.
I'm excited, bro. I'm excited. I'm not even gonna front like I'm excited. I'm excited to the point, like, and I told you the other day, I'm like lightweight nervous, but in a good way.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, man. Yeah, man. Tell me what it's like on the island right now, bro.
Well, I have the studio window open. My bad. There's a plane coming into Kingston right now, so I can see something. And then my father-in-law's phone is ringing. I should have closed the window. Yeah. But anyway, apart from that, though, we doing well, man. It's life is life. And listen, you know what I'm thinking, Quest? I posted it on Facebook. I actually typed it into I text you.
Yeah.
Since we just came back from the UOU Mastermind meetup in Atlanta.
Yeah.
it was such a good experience in terms of moving from where I am to Atlanta on a straight flight and back, and what I have to do to move around the city. I'm making that my new home base in the U.S. for coaching, man. Like, I just need y'all to put the word out, man. And we're trying to develop teams, and get you right for every goal that you have.
Yeah.
And ATL is a good spot because Delta has a hub there, so I can just shoot in, shoot out, and then we have some connects there with office space, meeting space. So listen,
yes, sir.
Listen, that's what it is. I decided like an hour and a half ago, and so this is fresh out of my brain. So we about to get that.
Yeah, let's get it, man. We have no choice but to get it. So, man, D, I'm telling you, my brain is firing in 50 million different directions right now. I'm telling you.
Why?
On fire for so many different reasons. For those who don't know, David and I are very much engulfed and entrenched. I told you he's one of the coaches. Truth be told, he's my coach now. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine what the world, at least the accountability side. Yeah.
Come on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm entrenched in the mastermind now, and like for real, because of that, D, I'm like super excited about all the different things that we're gonna be doing this year. Should God spare our lives to see the year finish out. And so, yeah, man, I don't know about nobody else, but I'm super, super, super excited. Right? That's Pops. Shouts out to Pops. You know what I'm saying?
That's Big John. That's Senior John.
Yeah.
He don't business at you live. That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing to Big John, man.
Nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
it's good. It's all good.
We doing real life for real life.
That's right.
And so, yeah, I'm super duper excited about what we're about to accomplish this year. And I'm telling y'all, if just stay tuned and stay attached, because when we put that pedal down, it's either you're going to be riding with us, you're going to be running with the horsemen, or you're going to get left behind.
Yeah. No hype. I'm looking forward to it, man. And so you'll hear, you'll see.
Yeah.
Let's get them.
Yep. What we diving into today?
Yeah, well, listen, there's a lot going on in people's lives these days, and we're talking about love, light, and longevity, right? We want our sisters to kind of drive when we do the workshop at some point in the future, but we're going to take a stab at it today, like how to get and keep a man. But when we go into the workshop, we're going to kick all the doors off of this thing, and the sisters are going to really, take it to a new level. So let's get started with that today, man.
Pause. I want to make the fellas know too that, like, for real, don't think that we just putting all the responsibility on the ladies. I don't want you to think that we putting all the responsibility on you. We just addressing the women's side of this thing, because there's two sides to this, right? Don't worry, fellas. We coming down your lane and gonna step on a couple of your coins too.
Can I just share one of them?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
You don't mind if I share one of them?
Share it.
Listen, if y'all got virgin ears, don't worry about it. You shouldn't be married.
Yeah.
Right? So how to get the box and keep it. Strategies for men to blow our wives' minds with intimacy. Like, some of y'all not getting the box and you married. Just saying. If you don't know what that is, look it up. I don't have the time right now.
It's called a sexless marriage.
Yeah. So how to get the box and keep it. Strategies for men to blow our wives' minds with intimacy. I just
want to say real quick, as you say that, D, like, a lot of dudes really think that it has something to do with how you smashing in the bedroom.
Come on.
And with women, sex is a little bit different. Sex starts long before you get to the bedroom. I'm gonna just drop that little gem for you, and you can hold that.
Yeah.
And we'll dive deeper into it. So yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So let's go ahead and start with like what I'm gonna call day one, because when we do a workshop, we're gonna do probably 5 days. 5 days, and day one on this one will be discover your worth.
Yeah.
Discover your worth. So ladies, discover your worth. There are people, women in particular, who want to be married, but there is something in the way. There's a whole lot of somethings in the way. It could be, you feel like there's no good men left, or you're of a certain age group and you're like, well, because of that, then that's my challenge. And the men of my age group, fill in the blank. I'm not going to go into those, right? But let's not get too distracted by it. So the first concept, discover your worth. Let's talk about that, Quest.
Yeah, real quick. I believe our homegirl Stein, she was on the call last night.
She was.
You remember? And you remember what she said? What she say, D?
She said, I've been wanting to be a wife for years. For years. But she didn't lower her standard and then just jump into anything.
Yep. Right. She did talk about some compromising though.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? She said that there were some things that she did as far as relationship was concerned, even though that she knew that she was a wife, but she had, I don't want to say misplaced values, right? But she valued the institution and valued the relationship so much and wanted that so much that she legit compromised some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so, D, when you speak to to discover your worth, like there is somebody for you who will love you just for you being you. Mm-hmm. You don't have to change. You don't have to. And when I say change, you don't have to change who you are as an individual. You may need to improve on a couple of areas, but who you are in terms of your wiring, just know that you were created that way. Right?
Yeah, let me just say, like, self-love is not selfish.
Yeah, come on.
Listen, a lot of people get it twisted because the term self is in what we're saying, right? So self, like self-awareness, self-love, you realize, like, if you're a Bible person like me, like, God said the first and great commandment is to love God.
Yep. With
right?
All your heart.
With everything.
Yep.
But the second is like unto it, right?
That part right there. That part right there is likened unto it.
Unto it. So it's miraculous that we can love God at all because we were born like with hostility toward God and everything good.
Yep.
But miraculously, the second is like unto it, namely, love your neighbor as yourself. Now, pause. If Jesus said, as yourself, then is there something wrong with loving self? Or is it a standard? Is it a measure for godly and mature love? So the problem is sometimes we don't love ourselves in a godly way. Some guy slapped you and made you feel less than.
My.
And now the trauma and the triggers surrounding that caused a self not love, whatever that means, self-hatred, self-loathing, right? And so society has two extremes. There's one that's selfish that causes people to think, oh, I'm all there is and a bag of chips, right? And it's narcissistic to that level, or to the point where it's like self-beating, like I'm nothing, I'm nobody, I'm just a fill in the blank negative. But what we're saying is that once we recognize who we are in God and begin to love self his way, then anybody who does not measure up to that kind of love does not get in.
That's
so ladies, like them dudes that don't love you like you love you, they don't have a chance. I'm saying that.
So real quick, I want to pause, D, because you're saying some heavy stuff right there. The first, or I should say, the standard is to love you.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the things that my boy Preach likes to say is that you are not broken. There is nothing missing and everything's all together. Right. Mm-hmm. E likes to say from time to time that you are worthy and you deserve love.
Mm-hmm.
But the first person who has to love you or understand that you are worthy, and the first person that has to love you is you. I think it's so apropos that he has that whole jump off this year. You owe you. You owe you the respect necessary to love you. You owe you, like for real, you have to take care of you first. Look towards you first. There's a good selfish, there's a healthy selfish, if you will, and there's a bad selfish, right? Where you're only thinking about you. But I'm saying, and thinking about you where you got to get and accumulate everything for you. No, the good selfish that I'm talking about is that you got to think about you first. When you're on a plane and the cabin pressure drops, the first thing that they tell you to do is to put your mask on first. Why? Because you don't want to pass out while helping somebody else put on their mask.
I reached out to a woman today that I'm associated with. I'll just leave it that way. Whose husband is incarcerated.
Yeah.
You know, it's a business level crime, supposedly. He's incarcerated for a while. Man. Hopefully he'll come out in the next several months. But it's federal charges.
Wow.
And what I did was I let this woman know how much I am proud of her. She's already married, obviously, right? So there's no challenge there. They're married. They're still married, right? But I said, boy, you have to juggle all of what life is. Your children, your business, relationship while your husband, hold him down while he's incarcerated, right? We've seen others like that. I saw one of the women that we know whose husband is now deceased, unfortunately, and they honored the brother the other day when we were in Atlanta. But so she's holding it down like in every way. While she has challenges going through all of the emotional ups and downs, she loves herself enough to continue to grow, to continue to be available for her children and her husband.
Come on.
She loves herself enough not to give up, even though it is excruciatingly difficult. I want to tell more of her story, but I'm just not, because there's more to it. Like, she's been through her own.
You talking about the homie Eva?
I'm not talking about Eva, and no, I'm not talking about Eva. But yeah, so what I'm saying is this woman has learned to love herself to such a level that she is going to continue.
Yeah.
Despite all of the challenges.
Here's what's so funny. Because shouts out to Eva Palacios, man. She is
I was just with her. I was just with her the other day, man.
That's my homie. You feel me? And this year we've prayed together. We've gone out of the country together. And a couple of years ago, that same thing that you were talking about, she lost Will, which was also a good dude of mine, man. Like, he was the homie, like the life of the party, if you will. She lost him during COVID. And then she had to turn around just recently and lose her mom as well. Matter of fact, she fell ill while before we left for Mexico. She showed up to Mexico, handled her business, and then hopped on another flight back out to go be with mom. And she was there in time for, you know what I'm saying, mom to pass away. Our condolences go out to the family. But to your point, D, she loves herself enough to continue to press taking care of her sons and putting them in positions that they can take care of themselves, because they're a little bit older, right? Young adult to adult phase already. And the things that she has done in the face of all of this adversity and like, for real, difficulty and challenge. And you know what I'm saying? Like, for real, most people would have been broken, but she loves herself enough to do all of that and continue to press to your point.
Yeah. So one day we're going to get, and now that you're saying that, man, and in fact, she's the one, I don't usually get distracted, but the other day, remember I told you somebody said, don't forget about the singles? It was Eva.
Yep.
It was Eva that said it to me.
Yep.
But anyway, my point is, we're going to one day really unpack this, but let the women speak. When I say instead of us, about how to love you. Right? So we scratched it. Let's talk about defining your desires.
Yeah, let's go.
Defining your desires. There's some stuff that you just shouldn't go for.
Yep.
Pause. Like Simone, you know what Simone did, Quest?
Yeah.
For those who don't know, that's my one good wife. Yeah, that's a Jamaicanism when you say one good wife. Yeah. But she wrote a list before she got married. That's her style. She and a friend, they came together. She wanted to be married. She almost was married once before to someone else.
Yeah.
And she wrote a list in the interim and said, this is what I want in a man. And she presented this list to God. So she was very clear. She didn't want a jester.
Nah.
She wanted a king. Like, she didn't want a playmate because she was grown then.
Pause for a moment, D. There are a number of people who want relationship, but you trying to try it on.
Ooh.
You either want relationship or you don't. Don't play with it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this term like, I just want to kick it.
Not grown people.
Oh, I'm just trying to tell you.
Mm-mm.
And let me say this, grown don't have nothing to do with age. It has everything to do with your mindset.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who are 25 and 30 who are grown. And there are people who are 45 and 50 and not grown.
Mm-hmm.
So to your point, you know what I'm saying? Like, she wrote this stuff down. Moni wrote this stuff down. Why? She's grown woman. She knows what she wants. She has her values, and she's not willing to compromise those for anyone.
Mm-hmm. So, weirdness alert. Yesterday, I think it was, you were talking about building business and business relationship or whatever. And there came a point when you said it was right under your nose. And you were referencing your homeboy, Dave, that we've been connected for 40 plus years, right?
40 plus.
Well, with Simone, in terms of marriage, she wrote out her list, and then eventually the target landed squarely on me. And I'm honored because we were friends for 11 years before.
Praise God.
And there wasn't nobody crossing over no lines, blurring no lines. Like, when she was otherwise engaged, I didn't even see her as, you know, anything other than my homegirl. And I said it here before, and I'm going to say it again. Like, she tried to give me her cousin because she loved me like that, and it just didn't work out. So we were just friends. But the list ended up being me, and she still believes that it's Dave.
Come on.
So she didn't want a jester. She wanted a king. She wanted a playmate. She wanted a soulmate, right? And I'm thankful because if you don't define your desires, like if you don't make it clear, like your needs and non-negotiables, we talk a lot about that with the UOU mastermind community.
Yeah.
Non-negotiables. There's some stuff that you just literally cannot stand for.
Yeah.
And you have to know what those are.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see?
Yeah. I liken them all the time to the core values. Right?
Core values. Yeah.
Roy, I think the way Roy Disney said it was that you don't have a problem making decisions when you know what your values are.
Mm-hmm.
Because they either fall in alignment with your values or they don't. And that's the mistake that I made the first time that I got married, D.
Mm-hmm.
I made my values 36, 24, 38. That was my value.
Pause. Oh my.
You feel me? But
so there's nothing wrong with those measurements.
Ain't nothing wrong with the measurements.
Especially at the age that you got married. But was that a value?
Come on. If it wasn't a value, I made it a value.
Man.
But here's the funny thing about that, though. When you are someone who focuses on, as E says, branch and leaf work, then the results that you get is branch and leaf work. But the last time that I checked, I didn't see no branches or no leaves supporting the tree.
So how'd that work out for you, Quest?
Oh, it ended in divorce.
You know what I tell people, man? And you may not agree. And I don't have a problem because I'm still working this through. I've been saying it for years, but I'm willing to walk away from it.
Yeah.
I say to dudes, if you're shallow, be honest and be shallow.
Yeah.
Like, don't front like you're not shallow. Because if
How you say it? But what Polonius say?
Oh, to thine own self be true. And he says it in a poetic way, like, and then you can't lie to nobody else.
That's it.
Right? So if you're shallow, be shallow, embrace it, be honest about it, and move like that. But do not try to make life-altering decisions that transcend 1 or 2 years with a shallow mindset.
What they say, D, you can't make lifetime decisions based on temporary situations.
So listen, man. So our sister, can I tell you, I'm going to tell y'all a secret. And it's a secret for real. This is no hype. I don't even know if I should say this. I don't think this is one of them trigger words that AI will pick up. But if I were not a believer, like if I were not somebody who respects God, I might be a vigilante.
Wow.
But I would focus on who feels like abusing women is a positive thing.
Wow.
So the guys who feel like they can put their hands on a woman and be that kind of disrespectful, yeah, I'd be your guy. Call me. That's what I would be if I were not a believer. I leave it in the hands of God now, but that's in my brain. That's who I am. Like she is a queen. Like you don't get to treat her, even if she allows you to. I'm here to let you know that that's not going to happen. That's what I am in my brain, bro.
You know what's funny about that though, D, is that just remember when you choose to be that person and do those things. My father, he wasn't scared to use, certain language, but he was like, there is only one thing that dog mess attracts.
Mm-mm.
There's only one thing that dog mess attracts, and that's flies.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever the equivalent flies is in life, some of you are attracting that stuff because that's what you're putting out.
Mm-mm. So maybe we should just transition while you're talking about it.
Well,
because that's the next thing we could possibly talk about, like attracting the right energy.
Well, here's the funny thing about that, right? Just know that there's a consequence for when you behave. If you shallow, you won't get what you. But what you can't do is get anything that is of substance being shallow. If we're talking about attracting the right energy, right? Mm-hmm. Like you can't be super deep and attract like shallow people. Like that don't work. If you want things of substance, then you are. The word declares that if you want friends, you're going to have to show yourself friendly.
Mm-hmm.
You can't want friends and be a sourpuss.
Mm-hmm.
You can't want friends and have a stank, not even a stank attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You can't want friends and be selfish. If you want friends, then you're going to have to show yourself friendly. It's a principle. Whatever you want, you're going to have to be the thing that you want to attract.
Aha. Okay.
So if you want a husband who is upright, upstanding citizen, works hard, you know what I'm saying, pours into himself, you know what I'm saying? Like, and when I say pours into himself, I'm talking about feeds his heart and his mind and his spirit. If you want that kind of man, then you're going to have to be that kind of woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, D? Like, and
yes,
there's a
sir.
lot of people out here who really want those people. Come on. You want $100 million man and you ain't nothing but a two. Okay.
Oh, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. So listen, this is not about pretending though.
No.
Because what happens is sometimes people will hear this, and not women only. I mean, we're taking the woman perspective, right? But sometimes people hear this and they say, well, I'm going to behave like I'm going to call those things that are not as though they are, right? So I'm going to act like I'm a hood dude, right? I'm not ghetto. There's two different things. And if I were ghetto, I wouldn't be ashamed because that's just how I would have been brought up, right? But sometimes, like they say, you can't take a dude out the, you can take a dude out the hood, but you can't take the hood out of a dude.
I'm a living example.
Exactly, right? So don't front like you're a Beverly Hills person when you're not. Trying to attract a Beverly Hills person. I'm not saying Beverly Hills is better. I'm just saying.
You saying you can't be Marty Marr wanting to attract Carlton?
No, no, because what's going to happen is at some point you're going to run out of energy. You see that thing behind me, that helix, that DNA thing?
You either are or you're not.
Exactly. You're going to run out of. Now, if you're not, at least be true to it. And if, by some stretch, then the two worlds collide, then that's quite fine because everybody's clear. But listen, you know what happened to me when I was a kid, Quest? Because I'm not going to say we were poor. We weren't poor, but the money wasn't flowing. I don't know what my pops was doing with the money.
We was poor. We just didn't know it.
Yeah, something. I don't know. So, but my uncle was paid. Yeah. In the 70s and 80s, he had a funeral business in Brooklyn while mafiosi was doing their thing and Jamaican posses were doing their thing. So there was a lot of unfortunate work for him to do.
Yeah.
Right? So boom. Uncle who finally made it, who did grow up in the P's, but now he getting paid. Yeah. He took me out to eat with my sister to somewhere in Manhattan. It's like, whoa, we in Manhattan and we drove. Like we didn't take the train. So we get there. I'm a young boy, literally. I dropped my knife, right? Ping, it drops on the ground. And all I did was stretch to pick it up. And the dude chided me. And I was like, what? And you know what he said? They got people to pick that up. Wow. And I was like, does not compute.
Yeah.
Like I was trained to pick up what you drop. Like I was trained to not think it's somebody else's job to, but he had gotten to some other space. So if that were a relationship, a romantic relationship, clearly we are incompatible, right? Because we come from two different worlds and we're not willing to yield in that way. Because to this day, I'm offended by what he said. He made it, but I'm like, bro, I could pick my knife up. I mean, come on. I can't pick my knife up. I dropped the knife. It's a simple thing.
It's a simple thing.
But no, he was like, I've arrived. Like, I'm going to pick it up. No diss to him. I'm just saying that's how his life was. So we have to be clear on who we are, what we are attracting, and decide, like, in my authentic self, do these two worlds mesh or do they collide? If they collide, then move on. It's okay. No problem.
But you said a while ago, D, something that was real heavy, and you said that I could behave a particular way in order to attract. You know what I'm saying? But what you're going to end up doing is, because you don't have the integrity or the character and you're not built that way, don't worry. The right situation is going to come along and expose you. And you're going to be looking crazy. And it's going to hurt. I was watching E do a sermon. It might have been last year. And he was talking about the behavior of people and getting, because here's the truth of the matter. Everybody, we said it before, deserves good relationship. Everybody does. But here's the funny thing about that. If that's what you want, then you're going to have to be the person so that you can properly attract it from the inside out. You're going to have to be that person. You're going to have to be that person. In other words, you got to do root work. You know what I'm saying? Once again, some of us are doing fruit work and you getting what those who do fruit work get. Because game recognized game. Let's keep it 100. And you can do it even if your game is that tight. You can only do it but for so long before you get bust out there.
Like I always say, right? Like even in some environments, including the group coaching environment, people mistake my behavior style because I come in there with all the game. I'm kicking the door off the hinges in a good way. And it's just like, whoa, let's go. And they don't believe that I am actually another way. And they're like, what? But, and I say, I can do anything for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
See, it's cool for what I'm talking about. There's no negative impact on that.
Yeah.
But if it's about relationship and you are selling, it's almost like when we were kids in the city, man. Like I would go to Manhattan or the Bronx and there'd be somebody selling something in the subway. And back then we young. So I'm like, oh, there's a speakerphone. Like, wow, a speakerphone. You know, one time I pick up a speakerphone, man, and there was nothing in it.
Come on.
I picked it up. The buttons are there, but on the inside, there was nothing. It was rattling like it was a stone or something in there. So if I would have taken that phone home and tried to plug it into the wall, we talking about the early 80s, like plug it into the wall and try to use it, it wouldn't have worked.
God.
So I would have got hustled by my desire, and without really doing the work to say, what do I really want? Does this person measure up? Like, am I being true to myself? I get that relationship home and realize there's literally nothing on the inside.
So do the knowledge, because you don't have the stuff on the inside and everything that you see is on the outside, and you becoming attracted to the things on the outside. Be careful. There's a lot of chicks out here getting BBLs.
Pause. What is that? What's a BBL?
You know, the butt enhancement. I don't know exactly what it stands for, but I know it's
Brazilian butt lift.
Yeah,
but this is what they didn't have or didn't grow because of who they are. But they bought something to make it look a different way.
And here's the funny thing. I'm not saying you shouldn't enhance yourself to look like the way that you want to look, but make sure that your inside matches the way that you look on the outside, if not surpasses it. So you doing all of that stuff. I love the way that my man Guru from Gangstar says it, but they don't got no control over their life. Inside they ugly. You feel me? So your outside look dope, but when life hits and you got to do it in relationship with this particular person, you ain't nothing more than a hellraiser. You slashing tires, busting windshields, and all kind of stuff. And that is not indicative of somebody who wants to be in relationship.
Good stuff. How about we understand his world?
Oh, come on.
Ladies.
Come on.
Right? Now, listen, people say all kind of crazy about like what it takes to reach a man's heart. I'm not going to get into that because, again, this is not my lane. We just kind of warming it up for when the women come in and do it, right? But what are they thinking? What are we men thinking? That's something to think about. Like, what is on his mind, right? How does he really feel? Notice I said two different things. I said, what is he thinking? And then I said, how is he feeling? So when we were in Atlanta the other day, one of the brothers had lost his younger brother a year before. So it was like year to date, his brother passed away.
Yeah.
And so the guy who was in front of us, he started crying while he was talking, and then he tried to pull it back. You know what I did, right? Now, I didn't go at him gangster because that would make it worse.
Yeah.
But I did say, I was like, bro, stop holding it back. Why are you holding it back?
Yeah.
There's a reason why you're feeling this way, because we were never created to be separated. You loved your brother. If you pull it back, there's something wrong with you. Like, if you don't sense and experience these emotions, there's something wrong with you. So don't feel like you have to fill in the blank, do something else because you're a man, in air quotes, right? So a woman who understands the man's emotional self, his mental and intellectual self, is gonna win. Understand that we are humans. We dudes are humans. And don't stereotype, because really the stereotypes are based on guys putting on veneers anyway, like making up all kind of dumb stuff so you can believe it. And then you act accordingly, and then it doesn't work out and you wonder why. It's because you were dealing with the stereotype in your brain rather than the man that was in front of you. You see? So don't let no guy hide behind it, but don't be crazy with it. But we're human. We got needs and fears and dreams. And the woman who hears and feels and senses and experiences the heartbeat of a dude is going to win 100% of the time.
Going to win. Here's the funny thing about that. She's going to win because she's on the front end of the trend. And when I say trend, I'm talking about she is there before he gets there in terms of his thought. Why? Because she's looking to serve. She's looking to make sure that wherever she is and he is, that she's providing a place of solace for him. I'm telling you, if you this color right here, and I'm not, you know what I'm saying, whatever. And I'm just telling you, like, if I just can keep it real for, if you this color right here or darker shades and you living in this world, yeah, there needs to be a place that you need to go to where you can decompress. And because she's on the front end of the trend and she's proactive and not reactive, and that's not like a regular thing. You know what I'm saying, D? We talked about it the other day. Too many of us are reactive as opposed to proactive. And when you got a woman in your life who is proactive, when you walk in the door and you're like, man, my dogs are killing me. And she got the little foot thing already plugged in long before you even walked in the door. And it's already bubbling, waiting for you to sit down and put your feet in it. Like little stuff like that. You're like, yeah, this is a keeper right here. And I'm not talking about behavior.
No. It's
I'm saying she created a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, D.
You know what Simone said last night, man? It was past our bedtime.
Yeah.
We came on the marriage building space.
Yeah.
With you all, right?
Yeah.
She said, and I was just so happy, man, because she don't pull no punches. She said, when you're talking about, you know, tell us your wins. Simone said, my husband's back. Because I was away for just a few days.
Just a few days. What was it, like 4, 5?
I left on Thursday, came back Monday.
See?
And she said, my husband's back. You know how that warmed my heart, bro?
And here's the thing that she said. I don't take it for granted when he leaves the island. We're not talking about going up to Mobay or going out in the grill or Trelawney or Kingston or wherever, Mandeville. We're talking about hopping on a plane, leaving the island and coming stateside. She said, I don't take it for granted when he leaves the island. And I'm glad and overjoyed. And it was almost, I can't remember the, at ease. It was, I'm paraphrasing, that he is back at home. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I'm thankful, man.
Whoa.
And so that means that we have mutualism going on.
Yeah.
That means we have symbiosis going on.
I love it.
In the sense that we are feeding and living on each other.
Yeah.
I said each other, otherwise it'd be parasitical. But we have a mutual relationship, man.
Yeah.
And so I'm happy to be back too. You see? So we can press pause on this because we'll never be finished anything that we ever say.
Oh, come on.
It's really sizzling, not the steak. But we really just want you to know that being yourselves is key to longevity and love.
Oh, come on.
And if yourself learns to be healthy and you learn to love yourself, then the man is going to learn to love you too. For real. Or he got to go. It's okay. We're talking about pre-marriage here.
That's it.
He got to go. Move on.
Yep.
And I said it.
And D, and I would say this like for Lou, eliminate desperation.
Yeah.
Because it's going to get you in trouble.
That's exactly
true. What you need to focus on is being unique, being separate, and being whole. There ain't nobody like you. And God was so dope with it that, like, for real, when you look at your finger, don't nobody else got that fingerprint that you got. That's how sweet God was with it. That's how detailed and meticulous he was with it. Nobody else is like you. They might be similar to you, but nobody is like you. You are unique. And there is somebody who is going to love you outside of God. He's going to give you a couple of options that's going to love you from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet. But do me a favor, make sure that you are unique, you are separate, and heavy on the whole to receive that person and properly take care of them. Because when you take care of them, guess what? They're going to take care of you.
Listen, man, I don't know. It doesn't get much better than this, man. So we just give God thanks that we had the opportunity to have this chat with you. Oh, my mic was not up.
Come on.
Yeah. And we'll see you on the flip side.
Y'all stay focused.
There you have it, y'all. I hope you've enjoyed your time with us. Marriage is about mutual love and mutual respect, and it works for those willing to make it work. Real talk, our spouses are treasured jewels given to us to make life better. And the sooner we learn to value one another will be the sooner we become the absolute best versions of ourselves we can be. Until next time, peace.